Hi, it's Ron Brown with your Being Truly Well Minutes for today. And today I was, going through a lot of things through my mind. We often have a to-do list. It's much better if you write it down. And I certainly have people I'd like to help list. And, I keep that list knowing that when the universe gives me opportunity, these are people who I definitely would like to help and see them through. Whether it's just a kind word, emotional support, or whether it's a hug, if that's what they require, or whatever else the universe provides for that particular moment in time. And the one thing I've counted on in my entire life, but most recently since 2005, is the availability of our resources. No, I'm not a televangelist asking you to open your wallet. Nope. No, I'm not talking about, something that's far away from you. What I'm talking about is within your sphere of influence. What is there that you can do today? I mean, it would be nice, truly nice, if every one of us would have the winning Mega Millions or Powerball ticket for hundreds of millions of dollars. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, it'd be awesome. And truly, I believe that if the universe had that for me, I have a list of people that I would bless with that money. Sorry, the list is already exclusive to those that I know. But the one thing I know is this, that if we hold back from things that are doable today to those that we know need them, what does it profit us? I remember back at the Box Elder Job Corps that there was a boy there, man, he was 19, and he had threatened suicide. And I got a phone call, a panicked phone call, to where I lived at the time, saying, you've got to get up here, this guy wants to kill himself, you've got to talk him out of it, and, you just have to get here. And so I hopped in my car right away. I had just gotten off my duty for the day from the Air Force when I was in there, and got the message, heard it on the answering machine, said, I need to go. And I asked the universe, I asked God to please allow me to get there, to be able to speak to him and let him see the value in his life. And I got there. And I talked to him, and he appeared to be, understanding what I was saying. And three things I'd asked him. Number one, he needed to ask counseling of someone there at the Job Corps. And I made sure that he did. Number two, he needed to be willing to open up himself emotionally to whatever it was inside that was causing him to feel that his life was not worth living. And the third thing is that he promised himself, not me, that he wasn't going to harm himself because he was going to see how his life would unfold. Well, in that particular case, this person, we'll call him Mark, that was his real first name. Mark did not kill himself that day. Mark sought help. He eventually left the Job Corps. And years later, I actually got a letter from a friend of mine named Jay, who shared with me, because I truly wanted to know that this person was okay. So I wrote, I had been keeping in touch with Jay, and also Jay had tried to help this Mark, and even moved in with his family, and tried to help him the best they could, for him to accept the person he was, and to not let things bother him. He had a stepfather, and evidently one day it just got to be too much for him. Now, why I'm sharing this story, I don't know. The universe always tells me what to say, and so I'm saying it. He drove his car into an embankment of a highway, a little overpass, the cement barrier. He was going 80 miles an hour, and the car collided and caught on fire. There was no sign that he put his brakes on at all, according to the letter that I got. There was no sign that he was skidding on some ice or any other kind of condition, and he left no suicide note. However, Mark's mother, who wrote me herself, and Jay, said that this happened to him, and that Jay had been there for her to help her through this, but that they could not understand why Mark would take his life. Well, I wrote them back, and I said that, because Jay had shared with her the things that I had shared with him way back, like a year or two before then, and how life was truly worth living, but that he had to be willing to live it. And unfortunately for him, his story ended tragically. But for Mark's mother, he became close with Jay, and they helped each other through the situation. Why do I bring up that particular story? I don't know. It's the universe telling me to say this today. So whenever it does, there's usually somebody that needs to hear this message. What I want you to know is you are love and light in and of yourself. There are people around you who may not show physical signs of stress. They may not show duress. They may not even tell anyone that they are being bullied or in pain or that they are suffering or maybe that they're ill. They may go through life feeling that they're alone. You can be in a crowded room. I read this wonderful article today that a friend of mine, Sandy, had shared that was in a local website, and it talked about how you can be alone in a crowded room, and you can go through the holidays and be with other people but still be alone. Well, I believe firmly that we in the universe are all one. We're all tied together. Whether you're Christian or Jewish, or whether you're Muslim or atheist, we are a communal life situation. Unless you live in the desert by yourself, or under a rock, you're truly not meant to be by yourself. And sometimes we are like the dog who knows he's going to die and crawls under the house to be alone, and dies alone, or drives their car into an embankment like Mark did. And I often think about Mark, and, we talked through some of the things he was going through, and I know that his counselors had probably also done that. But you can't make a person decide that their life is worth living. They need to do that. But if you allow your life to extend your arms around a person emotionally, to say, hey, I just wanted to say hello to maybe someone that you see that eats their lunch alone, or that you see, you could be at the office and everybody else is laughing, talking about the holidays coming up, and you notice that a coworker is not saying anything. Maybe they're not going to see their family at the holidays. Maybe because of circumstance or who they are sexually, or who they are emotionally, or who they are. They may have just gotten out of a bad relationship with someone of the opposite sex or same sex, doesn't matter. And now they feel isolated and alone. Maybe all the friends they had were connected with that relationship. Whatever it is, you need to extend a kind word. You need to extend friendship. We are not an island, and the sooner we realize that, the better. If you go and extend yourself out, asking the universe, please guide me, or you can ask God if you're a Christian, or whatever you believe in. Say, please guide me to do at least 3 kind things that I can do today to make a difference in someone else's life. That's a very Christian principle. It's a Muslim principle. It's a Jewish principle. Every religion that I know of has always taught that we are to help others. The story of the sheep and the goats. God separates the sheep and the goats. And you visited me when I was in prison. When did we do that? Well, when you did it to the least of them, you did it to me. You fed me when I was hungry. When did we do that to you? When you did it to the least of these, my brethren, you did it unto me. And I'm not trying to make this a Christian sermon, so please bear with me on that. But the principles are there throughout all the religions in the world. That if you extend some kindness, a friendship, a hand, maybe go out for a cup of coffee at lunchtime. Maybe this is not your favorite person in the world, but you feel the universe telling you, this person needs something. Extend it. It could be as simple as driving to a fast food restaurant and seeing a homeless person standing outside. Maybe you're not going to take him in your home, but you could go in and order an additional thing off the dollar menu, or a thing or two, or a hot cup of coffee to go with it, and go outside of there and give it to them, and say, I just thought you might like this. Why don't you come inside and eat it with me? And just share that meal. It didn't cost you hardly anything. It's the dollar menu. But that caring could make all the difference. If you open yourself up for these little blessings, it is truly the time that we give. But let us not be caught up in the kind of giving that involves wrapping of packages so much as it is to giving from the heart, from inside of you, from the embryonic truth of the person you are meant to be. And no matter who you are and how your life has evolved into business or into some sort of all about the Joneses or all about your life, there's someone out there just within your grasp that needs an encouraging word, a handshake. Maybe it's a hug. If they're comfortable to receive it, a hug. Maybe it's a cup of coffee. Maybe it's just an ear to listen, not to talk, not to counsel. You're not a counselor, but maybe just an ear to listen. It only takes a little bit of effort. It doesn't cost you a lot. What does it cost you? It costs you nothing from within. Maybe a few dollars from without if you buy someone something like a homeless person. Maybe you help a person get into a program if you know that they've been using drugs and you've been ignoring it because it's none of my business, but you see that person every day. Take the time and say, hey, I've noticed that you're showing these signs, and I don't know if you are or not using drugs or alcohol, or, I smell alcohol in your breath. I'm not here to report you to the boss. Is everything okay? Do you need some help? Most offices have programs to help someone get rehabilitated, and it's accepted today. But it takes someone to actually care to make all the difference in the world. So as you're making out your list, the naughty and nice list, who are you going to get the expensive gift for? Who are you going to get the inexpensive gift for? Why don't you look in your own life? Think for one day. Still have a couple days till Christmas. It's the end of Hanukkah, but maybe it's a few days after. That you can look around and ask the universe to show you who needs an encouraging word. Maybe it's a pat on the back. Maybe a fellow coworker that you think works their butt off and no one else notices. Tell them, wow, I really appreciate you because you make my job easier. Could be something simple like that. If you do 3 random acts of kindness a day, not just to your immediate family, but those in your sphere of influence. Sometimes our families are the hardest ones to say to. I've learned over the past couple years that I try to never fail to say I love you to my family when I see them. I hug them, I kiss them on the cheek if they're comfortable with that. Whatever level of comfort they're willing to receive. Tell them you appreciate them. I did that with my brother-in-law, Russ, on Thanksgiving. And it was one of the most amazing experiences, because no one had ever told him just what an amazing father he is, who watched and observed it happen, and saw how amazing his children are, him and my sister together. He never got that praise before, and he said, I really appreciate you saying that. It's a verbal hug. Maybe they're not comfortable with a real hug, but a verbal hug is just as good. And it's all true. He has amazing children. My sister and my brother-in-law are two amazing parents who truly teach in everything they do for their children to reach their fullest potential and expect nothing less, and then therefore they won't deliver less. That's a great thing. I see it with my other brother, Ken, with his son, Kenny, and just how wonderful their relationship is now. How the example of my brother being diligent in everything he does has now passed down to his son. And he's doing amazing things. He had a 4.0 on a semester. That's amazing. That's great. And he's truly now starting to live the worthiness that he feels now inside is within his grasp. So whatever your situation is, whatever the people are in your immediate area of influence, tell them you love them. Don't hold back. Don't leave it in the tube. 3 acts of kindness a day is all you should do. If not more. If it feels good, you'll do more. This is Ron Brown with your Being Truly Well Minutes. Fa-la-la-la-la is more than just a song. It's a feeling of joy. Fa-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la. Fill those fa-la-la-las with actual words of meaning. Joy, love, respect. Your true fa-la-las.